Testing. Testing. This is a test. Hello everybody, welcome back to another BriskHeat Tech Talk. My name is Thomas and I lead the tech support team here located at BriskHeat, located in Columbus, Ohio. Yeah, you ready? Hey guys, we got about 10 minutes before we start. Hang out. We'll be right back.
So there you go.
All right, guys, just about 5 more minutes and we'll start this presentation. Got about 30 seconds left, guys. Half a minute. We'll get this thing started. All right, guys, let's do this. Welcome back, everybody, to another BriskHeat Tech Talk. My name is Thomas, and I lead the tech support team here at BriskHeat, located in Columbus, Ohio. Today's Tech Talk, we will be continuing the temperature control series, with this session specifically being on the SDCE digital on-off touchscreen temperature controller. As always, we'll go over the agenda briefly before we get started. First off, we're going to go over a product overview. From there, I grabbed a few application examples out of a hat, a few that were more interesting than others, I thought they were, and a couple that were more run-of-the-mill. Just to give you guys an example of how these are being used out in the field. Next, we'll go over the kit's contents, what you guys can expect to receive when you open that box, all the pieces, parts, and things included. From there, we're going to do a quick walk around to get you familiar with the front of the unit, the back of the unit as well, the buttons, the alarm indicators, the output indicator, etc. From there, we're going to do a little bit of button pushing, adjust some of the settings. We're going to adjust the set point and the alarms. I'll show you guys how to unlatch the alarm as well as a pretty cool feature, I think, that you guys should enjoy on this controller. That'll be a little short video on that as well. From there, we're going to have a Q&A session. You guys can go ahead and write your questions up in the chat box, and I will answer them audibly. Now, if we run out of time and you guys put in your contact information, I will answer those questions that I'm not able to get to, but I'll answer them via email at a later time. From there, we'll wrap it up. All right, product overview. So the SDCE is like I said before, it's a digital on-off touchscreen temperature controller. It was designed and it's rated for indoor use only. So you've got a couple voltage options. You can purchase it in either 120 or 230/240 volt. The sensor input, so you have 3 sensor choices to choose from. All of them will be 5 foot in length. One of the options is a PT100 RTD, and the other 2 are thermocouples, either a J-type TC or a K-type TC. Now the temperature control range is going to depend on which of those sensors you chose when you picked out your controller. For example, the PT100 RTD has a range of between negative 58 Fahrenheit to 842 degrees Fahrenheit. The J-type TC has a range of negative 40 to 698 degrees Fahrenheit. And the K-type TC has a range of negative 40 to 899 degrees Fahrenheit. The SDCE has a max amp capacity of 8 amps. So, guys, if you have an application that's going to require anything higher than that, this probably is not the unit to buy. Don't fret, though, because we have other controllers that can receive more amps than that. So just reach out to us and we'll give you a little guided tour of what we have as far as that goes. And for approvals on this, we have a CE approval. Application example. This is a fun one, guys. I like this one. It's hydrogen bakeout. So in the steel industry, one of the more insidious problems is atomic hydrogen dissolving into the steel. So this can happen to some steel components under, let's just say, certain circumstances, and can cause weld failure, or what the industry calls hydrogen cracking. These cracks can show up either during the weld, right after the weld, or actually up to 48 hours after the weld is completed. And that's what makes it so insidious. So the solution to this problem is they add heat to the surfaces of the steel that they're welding before the weld is made. So what they do is they heat it up to 600 degrees Fahrenheit for roughly 4 hours. Now that time It fluctuates depending on the thickness of the material they're heating, but that's a rule of thumb, 600 degrees Fahrenheit for 4 hours. And what that does is drives out the hydrogen in the steel prior to the welding. So that's what hydrogen bakeout is. It's preheating steel. It pushes for a prolonged amount of time to an extended temperature that pushes out that hydrogen so the weld can take and it'll be a successful weld. So the reason I bring this one up is we have a few fab shops that use the SDC to control their heaters and their hydrogen bakeout processes. So sanitizing medical equipment. We have a few medical facilities that use the SDCE along with our silicone rubber SRL heaters. And what they're doing, guys, is they're heating, they're putting the heaters on the bottom. You see that illustration there. It'd be on the bottom of that pan. And there's a solution in that pan there. And they put their hand tools in there after they've been used. And they heat it up to a specific set point for a certain amount of time. And what that does is that's just one of the steps in the way they sanitize their tools after they've been used, so they can get it ready for the next round. I actually had my hand in the this application, figuring out this application. Worked with these guys, pretty cool company. But anyway, they got enough units for not only their facility, but come to find out they had a bunch more facilities as well. I think there were 6 total, so we got them a few units for those facilities as well. It worked well. The SDCE is pretty versatile, easy to operate and use. And R&D labs, guys, the labs use them for, I'll say bakeouts. They use them for bakeouts amongst other things. In universities, they're using these things for with beaker heaters, with heating mantles, heat tapes, heating blankets, cloth heating jackets. I had a student call me up and we came up with a solution for him. He needed to heat a chamber, the air in a chamber, and so we hooked him up with the SDCE, and he's using actually a heat gun along with the SDCE to heat up the chamber, and it's working famously. He's actually called me back for other heating products, and he's using this SDCE on numerous things, not just what he bought it for, but it's, like I said, guys, it's versatile and easy to use. All right, contents. What's included when you purchase an SDCE? So, of course, you're going to get the SDCE controller. With that will be an instruction manual in multiple languages. You will also receive a 6-foot, 7-inch power cord with your choice of plugs. Now, choice of plugs for the 120-volt version, there's no choices. You'll get the standard 3-prong NEMA 515 plug. But for the 230/240 volt versions, you've got, I believe, 4 options there to choose from. Next, you'll obviously come with a sensor, a 5-foot long sensor that is hardwired into the back of the unit. This one here is an RTD. Also on the back of the unit is a power input receptacle, NEMA 515 3-prong for the 120 volt version. And for the 230/240 volt, we're using a Nutric plug. But don't fret, we send out a plug assembly here that'll go on your heater. You can install it on your heater so it'll plug right into the back of the receptacle with no issues. So with the purchase of every 230 volt version of this SDCE, you will receive an assembly for this plug here, the Nutric plug. All right, let's get familiar with the unit. So we're going to do a quick walk around on the front here. We'll start here. So this is your output indicator lights. Anytime this light is illuminated, What that's letting you know is that the controller is giving power to the output receptacle or your heater ultimately. So whenever this is illuminated, expect your heater to be heating. All right. When it's not illuminated, no power to the heater. These down here are your alarm indicators. So anytime your high limit alarm threshold has been crossed or exceeded, you will see these two lights illuminated. Now, this is a latching alarm, so in order to unlatch it, you will have to let the process variable or the temperature of your application cool down to where it's lower than that high alarm limit, and then you'll be able to unlatch it and get rid of those lights. Over here, we've got your P button. This is your programming button. You'll use this to get into a programming menu. You will also use it to get into actual parameters so you can change values and such. Next to that, you've got your arrows, your up and down arrows. You'll use that to scroll through the different parameter options. You'll also use it to change parameters values. And up here is the U button, the standby button. So this is a very cool feature. So standby. If you need to put this unit on pause, you're able to with this button. Say you've got an application that's everything's going well, and then you look over it at it again, and something's happening, and you need power to shut off to the heater. You don't want it to heat right now. Push that button, standby mode. What happens is, like I said, it cuts power to the heater outputs, so it will read the actual process variable, the temperature the sensor is reading at the time, but it will not produce power output to the heater until you hit this button again and take it out of standby mode. Then it'll go back into operating mode. Cool feature. All right, the back of these units, pretty simple. A 120 volt version. This is your power input plug right here. This is your NEMA 515 3-prong standard 120 volt receptacle. Your heater will plug right in the back of that. And this right here is your sensor. Now for the 230/240 volt version, kind of the same thing here. Your power input cord goes here. And here is the Nutric receptacle I was referring to earlier. And along with the Nutric plug assembly that you'll install on your heater in order for this to plug in, your heater to plug into the back of the unit. And last but not least, here is your sensor wire. Okay. Now we're going to push some buttons, guys. So I paused the video because I'm moving fast on this video. The reason I'm moving fast is the controller will kick me out of the screen I'm in if I stuck around and waited to explain to you what's going on while I'm pushing buttons. So I'm going to give you a quick verbal tutorial before you watch the video. That way you get the full experience. Also, I wanted you guys to see this as well up here. I really can't see these buttons that well, so I thought you may not be able to as well. So I added this illustration up here. This is the exact same as what we have down here, okay? All right, for adjusting parameters, the set point and alarm, what we're going to do initially is we're going to press and hold the P button down for roughly 5 seconds. What will display on the screen when you're in the programming mode is SP1. It stands for set point 1. From there, I'm going to press the P button one time, and that's going to let me into the set point and let me know exactly what temperature I'm at right now. From there, I'll be able to use the up and or down arrows to adjust that setting. After I adjust a setting, guys, we have to push P after we adjust any setting to save it. What happens if we don't? It'll just kick us out to the previous screen, and all that we've done, we think we've changed the setting, it will not save it. So after you change a setting value, make sure you press that P button to save it. All right, so after we've saved the set point, we're going to be back at SP1, will be displayed on the screen. We'll hit the down arrow real quick, and that'll take us to alarm, AL. We will then again press P to enter into the alarm settings, the current settings. Use the up and down arrows to adjust the current settings, and then press P again to save that change in value. When we're done messing with adjusting the set point and the alarm, what I'm going to do is I'm going to press and hold the up arrow for a few seconds. What that'll do is take us out of the programming mode and into operating screen. So I'm holding the P button down for about 5 seconds. SP1 is displayed. Press P to enter the setting, the up arrow to adjust the setting, and the P button again to save that change in value. Once we've done that, we can go to alarm by pressing the down arrow. Press P to enter into the alarm setting. Use the arrows to adjust the setting. After you're done adjusting the setting, press P to save it. And then to get out of there, just go ahead and press and hold that up arrow. And as you can see, what I did made the output indicator light illuminate. So not very hard to operate and manipulate. All right, guys, so let's unlatch an alarm. We're going to do the same thing here. So when your alarm is latched, like I said before, I have in this video the alarm high set point or threshold at 76 degrees, okay? So once the temperature sensor senses temperatures above 76 degrees, it will engage that alarm. It will stay engaged until we unlatch it. It will not unlatch until the temperature from the sensor is showing temperatures below 76 degrees in this case, okay? So how we unlatch it is we press and hold both U and P buttons down for about roughly 5 seconds. So here you're going to see me heat it up a little bit. It's going to hit that 76. The alarm lights come on. It's going to cool down a bit, and then I'm going to use both U and P buttons to unlatch that alarm, okay? And they're gone. That's simple. Next, we're going to engage the standby mode. Like I said before, very easy to engage. All you do is press the U button. You'll see STB on the screen, as well as the current temperature the sensor is sensing. What you won't see is the output indicator light on while it is in standby mode. To get the unit back out of standby mode, what you do is hit that U button again, and everything will go back as it was before. So I'm showing you that the output indicator light is not illuminated right now when it's in standby mode. Take it out of standby mode, and there it is. All right, guys. I am now going to open it up to you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Like I said before, I will answer them audibly. And if there's a bunch up there to where I cannot get to them all, if you leave your contact information, if we have it, I'll definitely respond via email. So any questions, guys, feel free to type it up. Oh, here we have one. What happens if a sensor breaks or fails? Is there an indicator of some sort? And will the heater attached run away? Good question, good question. So during a sensor break, what you will see displayed on the screen is 3 dashes all the way across the screen. That's all that's going to be on the screen. So when that happens, just like in standby mode, it cuts power to the power output. So it's a safety feature, guys. What you don't want is, to answer your question, you don't want that temperature, that heater, to run away from you if the sensor's not working. So good question, Dave. Thank you. Any other questions, guys? Ooh, the cord plug options for 240 volts. Yes, as a matter of fact, I can. So for 230, 240 volt, what you have as far as options, you can have ferrule ends, which means you will get no plug whatsoever. It'll just be capped metal ends on those lead wires. Okay. Other option is a NEMA 615 plug. Another option is a Schuko plug. And the last option will be a UK Type G plug. Good questions. Can you switch temperature units from Yes, Jake Owens. Yes, you can. So yes, you can switch back from Celsius to Fahrenheit. Yeah, it's in the restricted parameters areas, but you're able to get through them. The instructions are in your instruction manual. I didn't go through them over the restricted parameters on this Tech Talk because, well, we don't have enough time. But yes, you're able to do that. Great question. Thank you. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Great questions. I appreciate them. So thank you all again for attending. Much appreciated. I hope you got something out of it. Again, my name is Thomas. And if you have any further questions on this product or any of our other products or an application, feel free to reach out to tech support at BriskHeat.com. I will answer you via email as long as, I'll answer you. I'll get back to you. Sorry. Also, there's going to be a short survey sent out to you guys. Do me a favor. Take a few minutes to fill that out. Let me know if I am or am not on the right track with these presentations. If you guys want something switched up, more information, less information, let me know. I'm doing this for you. I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for you guys. So I want you to get the most out of it. Also, if you have any suggestions on future content for these Tech Talks, feel free to throw it in there as well. That's it. Thanks again for attending. We hope to see you next time, guys. Which one?